Like, is it just simply that Choso beats Toji? Is it that he like BFRs him? Like, I don't know. What's your position?
Yeah, it just beats Toji.
Okay, I'm assuming by like virtue of his stats being higher, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my position is just like the negation to yours. I don't think Choso's stats are higher than Toji's. Um, so I can start by asking you why. Like, what makes you think Choso's stats are higher?
Do you think base Choso is as fast as Naya?
A base Choso is as fast as Naoya?
Yeah.
No.
Alright. Now I'll just send you base Choso reacting to.
That's fine. Go ahead. Seems a troll.
Alright, I sent it.
All right, let me see. So yeah, that isn't base Choso. That's FRSS Choso.
Yeah, but he's using RFRSS into his ocular
Yeah, but that,
powers. He's not using it to his physicals.
yeah, that's fine. It's still not a base version of Choso.
Okay,
Like,
so he's physically as fast as base Choso. That's all that
you know,
matters.
his eyes are still physical though. Like, for example, I'll give you an
Yeah,
example. So
but
let's
his
say,
eyes don't make him physically faster.
yeah, wait. But it allows him to see things moving like, okay, if you look at the scan, it says it increases his visual acuity, right? Which means that
Yeah.
obviously, wait, which means that he can better perceive fast moving objects, which would allow him to react to them better. So it's still not a base version of Choso because
It allow you to react better if you're moving before the object moves, but he's still moving at the same time Naya's moving.
yeah, but
Something like that.
physically,
Wait, hold on. Something like that's when it comes into like precog, where you can see 3 seconds in the future, and then you can move yourself before those 3 seconds actually come to happen. But in this specific instance, he's just using that dynamic visual acuity to see through like the disorienting movements of projection sorcery.
okay, yeah. So I don't think you're understanding my point. I understand what you're arguing. You're saying that, oh yeah, he gets like a perception boost. That's completely fine, but his base speed is still the same, right? I don't disagree. However, I'm saying that this isn't a base version of Choso because his perception is being amplified in order to even perceive these things in the first place. Like, if you already agree that like your eyesight and your senses are physical, right? Obviously, then you'd agree that any amplification to these physical features of your body would not be a base or a natural form
Yeah,
of.
that's fine. That's not disagreeing with my point. Once again,
Okay,
as I already said, you bringing up the perception thing, I already described it to be the fact that he's just trying to see through the disorienting factor of projection sorcery. That's why he focuses the FRSS into his eyes, but his physical body is still moving at the same speed as a base Choso would because that's not where FRSS is being flowed to.
okay, yeah. So I think
Unless
okay.
you
So
have proof to say that, wait, hold on. Unless you have proof to say that the dynamic visual acuity will make his physical body faster, and that's a different story. That's why I
no,
brought up
that's
you
not what I'm
saying it would
arguing
allow.
about. That's why I wanted to clarify for you,
I
right?
said that's what
If
you would
when
have
you
to argue.
wait, no, because that's not why I don't have to do anything because that's not what I claimed, right? Your claim initially was that this is a base Choso, okay? Now, if you
Wrong,
want to
wrong.
chill. Now, if you want to clarify, okay, and say
That's wrong
now what you
already.
meant by chase, what you mean by base is, oh, his physical speed and his like physical strength stay the same. All that increases
I
his
said
perception.
that since the beginning.
I wasn't done talking. I was done talking. If that's what you meant by base, that's
That's what I
fine.
said.
We can move on, right? But if you say bases and all his stats are the same, then I have to disagree with you.
All right. Anyway, you're edging. Moving on. Do you think Naya scales to Maki?
Now this goes to Marquis.
Mm-hmm. Until
Um,
she sees through that disorienting factor.
a Shibuya Marquis.
Huh?
A Shibuya Marquis, sure.
So not PPA.
Yeah, like a Marquis in PPA or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait. No, that's fine. What am I doing? He what's it called? Like he fights PPA Marquis. I don't think he scales, so I think Marquis above.
Yeah, she could be relatively above.
I think she's usually by above. Let's not have this semantic battle. When I say above, I mean that she's
But
stronger and quicker.
huh?
When I say above, I mean that she's stronger and quicker. What do you mean by above? Or relatively above?
Uh, now you can damage her.
I I don't think it's the case that any character is unable to damage another character. So I just don't think that's a good scale for what above means. Like for example, Mike Tyson is certainly a better fighter than me. Like no one would disagree. But if I punched Mike Tyson in his nose, then he would certainly take damage as well. So
Yeah, that's not an accurate correlation because the damage that Nalia does is actually significant to her.
can you show me this?
Sure.
Also, I'm just trying to. This isn't even a claim I'm making. I'm just kind of confused. Are you arguing that he's relative in terms of damage or speed? Because you made a claim about FRSS when it's focused into the eyes being able to react to like high speed objects or disorienting objects. But now you're trying to claim now he's relative because of the damage he deals. So is it a speed thing that he's relative in terms of, or what?
You said what? I think he's relative to speed if he's tagging her, yeah.
We can. I'll put that into question too. But go ahead and send the scans.
Alrighty. Alright, there you go.
All right, let's see. This is bad. Projection sorcery does not allow movement in ways that egregiously ignores the law, blah, blah, blah. Maintaining a curse technique allows speed to continuously build. Uh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I guess the first thing that I can see, or the first, there's some multiple potential I can make for this. I'm just going to start with my strongest one. Are you aware that this version of Maki, I don't think you can, or not even this version of Maki, this version of Naoya doesn't scale to the version of Naoya that Choso fought. Like, it's stated, what's it called? Maintaining the curse technique allows speed to continuously build, right? Maintenance simply meaning continuing to do something. And then he says, I won't stop, I won't make the same mistake as before. And that's
Yeah,
a
he makes
fact.
that statement after this instance. That's fine. The
Wait,
Nalia after this could be faster.
that's Naoya
Because he
after what?
goes on and I said the Naya or the specific thing you're talking about comes after the instance I've already shown. So that specific
Oh,
Nanya could be
wait.
faster
Wait,
than the
so
one that fought Choso.
wait. Let me just understand, because you sent the two scans and the order's a bit jumbled. So the order is he kicks her, then she says this is bad, and then it's that scan, or she says
And
bad.
he kicks her and then he picks her up, slams her, and then he punches her in her head, and then that's when she starts bleeding. And then
Oh,
after that, he starts to say, "I won't make the same mistake as before. I'll punch her through at top speed."
okay, yeah. So I can
That
see
means
that.
he's just now reaching that new
All right,
level of speed
yeah,
from
yeah.
maintaining.
That's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, so do you think that you can correlate this to Edo Toji in any way? Let's just start with that.
Uh, Maki's equal to Toji.
Not in this instance. Certainly not in this instance.
Stated, shown. What?
Go ahead and show me the statement.
Uh, when she initially pulls up and Ogi sees her as Toji.
No, that's that. Okay, yeah. So you made a claim so that it stated that she's equal to Toji. That's not what happened, right? Oki sees Maki and he says, "Oh, I tried so hard to forget this fear," right? And she sees like he sees Toji in Maki. However, it is not the case that she is equal to Toji. There's no statement that says this. In fact, it's quite the
I
opposite.
mean, yeah, if he looks at Maki and feels the exact same fear that he felt against Toji, then it is the case to say that they should be on the same level.
Okay, that's retarded because we know that fear is not a good gauge of strength. Like, for example, you can
Why?
look at like, wait, I wasn't done. I was going to explain why. So we can look at like execution arc, where we see that Yuta pulls up and stated that Yuta's curse energy is more creepy than Gojo's, right? And we know that Gojo is certainly stronger than Yuta. So fear isn't a good gauge of saying, okay, well, look,
What does
this
that
guy.
have
Oh,
to?
wait. I wasn't done. So fear's not a good
Wait,
gauge. I wasn't done talking. I wasn't done talking. So fear is not a good gauge because just because one character can make or like one character can make another character feel more afraid or just as afraid as another character did does not mean that they're on the same levels of strength. There could be other factors that contribute to this.
okay, your reasoning for that was specifically the Yuta thing. Why does Yuta's curse energy being more creepier means it's more fearful?
More creepy means it's more fearful. Do you know what creepiness is?
Uh, Something that's strange. I don't think it's something that's scary.
Okay, give me a sec. I'll get the definition. Okay, so according to Wikipedia, creepiness is the state of being creepy or causing an unpleasant feeling of fear or unease. So,
Uh-huh.
okay, yeah, and I think that the second definition, which is causing a feeling of fear or unease, is the more like narratively coherent definition because we see that the same feeling of fear is caused when another character with a high amount of gas energy pulls up.
You said
I would
what?
okay, let me break this down for you. So I think that the definition of it causing fear, right? Because obviously there's multiple definitions given. The one of it causing fear is the one that's more narratively coherent because we see that in the series, right? Okay, let me break it down even more. So you know why Utah's class
Uh,
energy causes a feeling of fear, right?
why it causes fear?
Yeah, it's because it's abundant. Like there's a lot of class energy, so it causes fear.
Oh, then that doesn't help your point.
Wait,
It
wait,
would
yeah,
be
yeah. I was
creepier. It
wait,
would
no,
be
okay,
creepier than
wait.
Gojo's Kristen.
Let me just finish
It
my
would
let me
be
just finish
creepier
my
than
point
Gojo's.
first before you explain how it doesn't help because I haven't finished the point I was making. So if
Okay.
it is because Utah has a lot of class energy, that's why it causes a feeling of fear and unease, right? Um, what's it called? And we know that it's consistent that when you're in an area of a lot of gas energy, you feel afraid, right? We could like attribute the same thing, right? It's consistent within the story. Therefore, inductively, we can make the claim that yeah, Utah's gas energy causes a feeling of creepiness, which causes fear in anyone that experiences it, right? Which ties back into my main claim, which is look, you can look at a character and be afraid, right, and be like at unease when you see them, and you can say you're more afraid of them than of like another character. Or your fear of them can be compared to another character. That does not necessitate that you scale to this character in any way. Doesn't make any sense.
This specific instance doesn't help you because what they're comparing between Gojo and Yuta is the amount of curse energy he has, not how strong Gojo is. So that's just disanalogous to what I'm specifically talking about, where he's looking at the strength of two people and he's saying this, their strength is leading to a certain extent of fear.
Okay, yeah.
Because
So
in the sense that we're comparing Gojo's cursed energy amount and Yuta's cursed energy amount, we can say that Yuta would be creepier because he has more cursed energy, but they're not comparing Gojo as an individual and Yuta as an individual.
okay, yeah. So I'll stop you there because the scan in which you sent shows Maki like standing in front of Ogi and Ogi feeling that fear. And if I remember correctly, this is before Maki even fights Toji. I mean Toji Ogi, because when Maki does fight Ogi, he gets one shot, right? So they're not comparing fighting capabilities or fighting extent. He's completely comparing their presence, which is why I'm saying it's analogous, right? Maki has a strong presence, which causes a feeling of fear akin to the feeling of fear Ogi experienced when he like came across Toji. In the same way, Yuta causes a
Wait, there's
feeling
a
of fear.
difference
Wait,
between
I wasn't
presence.
done talking. I wasn't done talking. In the same way, Yuta causes a feeling of fear akin to the same, or like more so than the feeling of fear that Gojo causes in people around him. Right? It doesn't matter what causes this feeling of fear in this instance because it's not fighting capability they're comparing. Right?
There's a
Uh,
difference between presence and cursed energy amount, or
no.
in
Okay.
the
Wait.
sense
That's not.
sensing cursed energy, because presence is something completely different. It just happens to deal with whether or not you can feel a person is overwhelmingly stronger than you. Whereas cursed energy sensory is just quite literally telling if a person has more cursed energy or has less cursed energy.
Yo. Okay. Yeah.
Like
So
for
that's not.
example, when Sukuna is first summoned, or when he first eats the 15 fingers in Shibuya, everyone can sense his presence, but it's not based off of the fact that he has an abundance of cursed energy. It's just based off of the fact that he's overwhelmingly stronger. That's why Gojo instinctively sat down the second he told him to stay down.
Okay, so anyways, so you made like two claims there. So for the first claim that you made, where you said that you're talking about presence and not curse energy, that isn't defeating my point, right? Because the entire point that I'm making is that Ogi, you're saying that Ogi feels afraid of these two, right? Therefore, right now you're saying that it's presence, right? And presence is different from curse energy, and that presence is when you can tell that someone is overwhelmingly stronger than you are. Um, Okay, yeah. So we can just begin by first saying that there's no distinction that you can make between presence and curse energy that would like entail anything different, or like why we should make them to be like different in the sense that oh, if you feel someone's presence and you're intimidated by someone, therefore they are stronger than you. I don't think that
I just
follows.
explained why.
And hold on, I wasn't done. And then secondly, right, the example you gave of Sukuna popping up in Shibuya, you would never be able to prove that that's because of his presence. It could be because of his cursed energy, which is why I'm a bit confused as to what you're trying to argue here.
What do you mean? It's referred to as his presence.
Go ahead.
And he literally says Sukuna's strength
Yeah,
is
you can
strikingly different.
show me. Yeah, you can show me.
Okay. Standing there, Jogo refers to his strength despite him not even moving yet. And when he's first initially incantates, Megami makes notice of his presence.
Could you show me the scan?
Or it's definitely yeah, I just sent this. It's definitely something different than just cursed energy. Especially
Uh,
if Toji is able to sense it too, despite having no cursed energy.
okay, so this is Sukuna. That presence I just felt was Sukuna's finger. What the hell is going on in Shibuya? Okay, so for the first scan where he says Sukuna's strength is different from Satoru Gojo's, it's overwhelmingly evil. Why couldn't it just be a release of cursed energy which is equated to
Why would
presence,
it
or
be?
was how? Wait, I wasn't done. Which is equated to that of presence, right? Because we already know that cursed energy can cause certain feelings, right, in people, right? As in, oh,
How
you,
so?
I wasn't done. Like Uterus, for example, right, causes feelings of like creepiness and fear, as already shown, right? So why couldn't this just be cursed energy? You said
Yeah,
why
the
is it? I
abundance,
was
the
wait, wait,
abundance of
wait,
it.
wait, 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 wait. You said why is it cursed energy? That's not something that I have to prove, right? Your claim is that presence is when you know someone is overwhelmingly stronger than you. And I said, why can't you just be basing this overwhelming strength of cursed energy? As for the second scan you sent where you said, oh, that presence I just felt was Sukuna's finger. Once again, why couldn't this presence be a result of like Sukuna's cursed energy? Like, where's the distinction between presence and cursed energy that you're trying to prove here?
Toji can't sense cursed energy, but he senses Sukuna.
Toji can't sense cursed energy, but he senses Sukuna.
Yeah, he doesn't have cursed energy, but he's able to
Wait,
notice when Sukuna is there.
can you show me Toji sensing cursed energy?
He shares a reaction marker with
Oh,
Megami the
you're
second
talking
he
about the
noticed
shudder
it.
thing?
Yes.
Uh, let me see. You're right. I never noticed that shit before. Okay. This point was for
It's just to
Toji
say that there's a
Utamaki.
difference
Okay, wait.
between
Yeah, that's fine.
presence
That's
and
fine.
cursed energy
That's fine.
sensor.
So I still don't think that this scan that you sent shows that Toji's equal to Maki because it's like directly shown that there's still something that separates Maki from Toji. Do you not agree?
Hold on. Okay. First, let me go see if I can find a statement that just says they're equal. Because this is pointless argument.
It's
But what
yeah.
you
The
think?
statement. Wait. Let me not waste your time because we only have an hour. The statement that says that they're equal is made after Maki becomes free, right? That's the statement. It says a demonic fighter equal to Toji's end, and that's like
No,
chapter
I'm
one
not
nine
talking.
thousand.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not
So
talking.
what statement?
It's another one. Hold on.
Oh, you talk about the fanbook statement.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the fanbook statement, I just argued that it's directly connected because we see that later on in the manga, it's stated again after Maki gains an ability that contributes to her ability to like evade shit and react to stuff that she's now equal to Toji's Zen and has been fully realized, right? So it just wouldn't be the case that this fanbook
Wait,
statement.
you said what? What would be the contradiction?
Okay, so the fanbook states that Maki at that point is equal to Toji, and then it
Mm-hmm.
goes on later on in the series to say that Maki is equal to Toji after Maki gets stronger or more like combatively adept. So I just think that would be contradicted because how can she be equal to Toji at a certain level of strength, get stronger, and then also still be equal to Toji?
Why
Doesn't
is
make
she
sense.
stronger?
Would you say?
Why is she stronger?
She goes from like getting totally blitzed by Naoya and Speed to being able to react to him.
Yeah, that's just because she's not mentally distracted anymore. I don't think that's a matter of like a speed increase or anything of the
Yeah. Okay.
sorts.
So okay, would you agree that she was mentally distracted when she was fighting Ogi?
Like I can't say no.
Okay, wait, what?
You just
I'm so
asked me if I would say that. I said I can't say no.
okay, wait, so she's not mentally distracted when she fights Ogi,
I
right?
wouldn't be
That's
able to say so. That's what I'm saying.
okay, wait. I'm confused because if you're arguing that Marky doesn't get stronger. She was just mentally distracted. I'm asking you, at what point does she become mentally distracted? You can't give me an answer. You're just deciding
That's not what
arbitrarily.
you asked. That's not
Okay,
what you
wait.
asked.
So at what point does she become mentally distracted?
That's a different question.
At what point does she become
I'm
mentally
saying when
distracted?
she fights or during the Naya fight, we can see that she is.
During the night, yeah, go ahead and show me. I just think that it's the case that Marky is
Alrighty.
constantly distracted. The reasons given for a distraction, which we're going to get into later, will just follow that she's always been distracted and she only breaks out of this distraction after the Naoya fight. So, or after the like initial stages of the Naoya fight. But go ahead and show me.
I'm talking about Scoria when I say Naya, by the way. Right, I'll just send a statement where Naya says that she's distracted.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell me when you sent it.
Alrighty. And the basic overall explanation as to why she's distracted is because she can't use the full power of the sword that Maya left behind. That's why when she sees Daido using it to its fullest capabilities, that's when she starts to realize that there's a difference between her and Toji, because Toji had the same sword.
Wait. I okay, what the fuck? Okay. I asked you at what point did she start becoming distracted? That's why I want to
I
know.
said this is the point it starts being shown, yeah.
Okay, wait. So how are you deciding that this is the point? Because now you acknowledges that she's distracted.
Hmm?
Why do you think that this is the point in which she becomes distracted?
Yeah, because it's acknowledged that she's distracted and it's shown and stated that she's distracted
Oh,
within
bro.
these
So you're
specific
saying that
instances.
because at this point, right, is when now you're a character, not like the narrator, no word of God statement, but when Naya says, "Yeah, by the way, you're distracted," therefore she becomes distracted at this very moment.
I'm saying she's shown to be distracted in this specific instance because of what Naya says, it because she says herself that she's distracted.
Okay, wait. Do you know what when it says distracted? Do you know what it means?
Huh?
When it says distracted, do you know what it means?
Her focus is on something else.
As in, like, what in this specific instance is she focusing on?
I'm saying she's specifically focusing on the fact that she's unable to use the sword Maya left behind at full power.
I don't think that's what it means when it says she's distracted. When it says she's distracted, I'm pretty sure it's stated that what it means is she's keeps on thinking of how to like close the gap between her and other sorcerers. Like, oh, I can't do this, but you guys can do this, instead of focusing on what she can do and perfecting that instead. Would you not agree?
You said what?
I said when it says that she's distracted, isn't it referring to how she's focusing on how other sorcerers can do X, but she can't do X, instead of her focusing on how to perfect her own abilities?
I don't want to say so now.
Isn't that what's like stated?
I don't know.
This
I
nigga, bro.
genuinely don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, when she gets fully realized, right, and she's like flowing through the air, and she's like, "Oh, what's it called? I see it now. I see everything." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I do think she gets the
Wait,
whatever eyes are called. Yeah.
wait. So, do you think that her like stopping being distracted is her attaining this ability?
Wait, the ability to see the world.
Yeah. Do you think when she stops being distracted once and for all, she attains this ability?
Yeah, because when
So,
she clears her mind and she says she's free, that's when she gets the ability.
okay, so her distraction was what was limiting her from attaining this ability.
I think her distraction is just limiting her in general. I don't think it's just the ability.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
what I'm saying. I never said that it's just limiting her from attaining this ability. I said that it is the thing that is limiting her from attaining this ability.
yeah, to a degree.
To a degree, what other factors would be limiting her from attaining this ability aside from her being distracted?
Just her overall understanding.
Also,
Because
overall understanding
yeah, the
of
overall
what?
understanding when the sumo nigga explains to her exactly what she should be seeing and what she shouldn't be seeing.
I
No,
see. Okay, so here's how I see it. All right, so paired with like the not the narrative, the statement that's made when Marky attains this ability, where she says, "I see it now," right? And you've already agreed that one of the main factors. I'm not gonna shotgun, so we can stay like one point at a time. So let's start with the distraction point. So I think that Maki must have also been distracted when fighting Ogi because she says at the moment of like stopping being distracted, I can see it now, right? Meaning that now she has the capability of seeing, and it implies that before she's never been able to see it. Paired with the fact that she had to be explained of what she should and shouldn't be seeing. She's already attained this
yeah,
ability before.
uh,
Wait, 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 wait,
crazy.
wait. Wait. If she's already attained this ability before, because as you said, her distraction is one of the main factors are limiting her from attaining this ability, then it would also follow that she would already know what she should be seeing. She just doesn't see it yet.
Yeah, and I'm saying the point of time in which we can say that's the case would be in this specific fight
No, as
because
in that doesn't make any
that
sense.
one is yeah. Okay, I'm saying that she's distracted from the fact that she's unable to use the sword at full power. I'm saying the specific instance for where that is shown consistently is within this fight against Goya and against Dido, etc.
Okay, and
So
I'm
I'm
saying
saying that,
yeah, I'm saying that that isn't consistent at all, right? The reason for
huh?
her being distracted, wait, and I'm saying because we have two conflicting interpretations, right? So I'm saying that the like reason why she's distracted is because she keeps on thinking of what other sorcerers can accomplish that she cannot because of her heavenly restriction and her inability to use curse energy and curse
Yeah,
techniques,
I
right?
showed
And
that.
then wait. I pointed out a narrative incoherency. I said that at the moment, oh wait, I said what's it called? First, when she first like becomes fully realized and starts seeing the world, she says, I can see it now, right? And she's surprised, okay? It wouldn't make any sense narratively for her to be surprised at something she's already experienced for like
I never
a
said she
month.
experienced it.
Guys, you need to understand this. So
You're
for at least
tripping. I never said he experienced it
wait,
before.
let me finish.
You
Why do you
kept
keep
saying,
talking over me? So for like a month after she's already experienced it before, right? And I also said that the guy having to explain to her what she has to see and explain to her how to understand this thing and see what she needs to see and blah blah blah. If she's already experienced this thing, it would not make sense as to why she'd need to have it explained of how to obtain it. Doesn't make any sense, right? She's already obtained it before, right? So these narrative inconsistencies of her, you know, uh, what's it called? If it is the case that she's already obtained it before, because obviously you're arguing that she might have not been distracted during her fight with Ogi, right? So if it is the case that she wasn't distracted during her fight with Ogi, she wouldn't be distracted. Oh, she would have the ability to see the world. And if she can see the world, it
I
wouldn't make
really
sense.
just told you that's not the only thing that was the case. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
wait.
Go.
So do you wait? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I
That's fine.
also said the overall
You cut me
understanding.
off. Wait. You cut me off. So I said I'm not gonna shotgun you by talking about two things at one time, right? So if you want to move on from this distraction point, we can talk about the second thing that was limiting her if you want.
No, because I'm not done.
Okay, so don't bring up the second point then. Cool. Talk about the first
Well,
one.
you're the one that brought up the second point.
Yeah, before I even talked about it, I said I'm not going to refer to this point, right, until we've gone over this one, and then you decided to just bring it up again for no reason. That's
No,
not the point I'm
you
arguing. I'm
just
arguing about
now brought it
the
up. You're the one that just now said that I specifically only argued. What's it called? Hold on.
yeah.
I
You
was
know what
going
you're
to.
But anyways, yeah. My point was there's narrative inconsistencies. You're trying to point to consistencies within the narrative, and I said that it would be inconsistent for the narrative
Oh
to
yeah, I remember now. Because you're
yeah.
saying, that her not being distracted would mean that she can use the eyes of inorganic matter or whatever the hell they're called. I'm
Uh-huh.
saying that her being distracted wasn't the only thing stopping her from doing so. Her understanding was also within that. That's why I
Okay,
said
yeah.
you saying that her not having distraction anymore would also mean that she would be able to use the eyes before isn't going against what I just said because I'm
Okay,
saying
yeah.
that there's
So
other things involved within that.
yeah, so that's not like okay, anyways. To understand, how would you define understanding? Should we just use the Oxford definition? Let's start like that.
What do you mean to understand it? Just have knowledge on it, an
Okay.
explanation about it, just things like
So
that. Just
do you believe that Marky had knowledge of the eyes before?
uh, before when? I think she
I,
realizes that there's something she is missing against Goya. That's what I'm saying. But
okay,
she
wait, wait,
doesn't
wait, 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 wait,
realize.
wait, let me stop you, let me stop
Wait,
you,
hold on.
let
I'm
me
not
stop you,
done. I'm not done. I'm
I
not
don't need,
done.
I
I'm
don't need
not
further
done. I'm not
extrapolation,
done. I'm
yo.
not done.
I don't
But
need
she
further
doesn't realize
extrapolation. Wait, I
exactly
asked
what
you a
she
question.
is
I
missing
asked you a yes
until
or
she
no,
goes
bro. I
against the
asked you a
sumo
yes or no
wrestler.
question. I asked you a yes or no question. I don't need further extrapolation.
I
So you
already
just
did.
said
You don't
something
have
that
to act like that for you, bro.
I just keep, yo, stop that shit, bro. Okay. I asked you, did she have an understanding of this thing, right?
I already
You said,
answered it.
I think, what the fuck? Okay, anyways, my entire point is if she had been seeing, right, this like precognition, because the entire overarching point that I'm trying to prove is if she didn't have this precognition when she fought Oki, this would not be a version of Maki equal to that of Toji, okay? So in order for you to defeat this,
Yeah,
you'd have
and
to prove I wasn't
I already
done
told you
talking.
that
I
I
wasn't
don't
done
think that
talking. Can
ability.
someone moderate, please, bro? Okay. In order for you to defeat this, you'd have to prove that Maki did in fact have this recognition at the time of fighting Ogi, right? He then went on to say that she has like an understanding of it from the sumo wrestler guy. And I said, okay, that's fine, right? It wouldn't follow that what's it called? It wouldn't follow that she had this ability before then. Because if she's already been seeing this world and experiencing this world, right? Why would she need to have someone explain how to obtain this world and understand and achieve this world? It doesn't make any sense, right? You're arguing that she knows something before she like understands something. She can perceive something before she can learn how to perceive that thing. It doesn't make any sense. So I'll give you a chance to clarify, but I don't think it makes
Anyway,
sense.
I'm gonna just repeat my whole argument for you because you're no longer on the point, on not even on the main point. You're just arguing by yourself. Um, I'm specifically saying first, Maki is equal to Toji, and then you say that in order to be equal to Toji in this specific point, she would need to have the eyes of energetic matter. I say that why is that specific ability faster? That's when you bring up the fact that she's getting blitzed by Naya, that she's able to beat him up afterwards. I then respond with the fact that the only reason she's getting blitzed in the first place and then able to beat him up afterwards isn't because of a speed difference due to the eyes of energetic matter. It's specifically because of the fact that she's no longer distracted. And I say that the specific instance in which she's shown to be distracted, where that's demonstrated, is against Goya throughout the entire fight, where she's stated to be distracted by Naya. And then she even goes off into the sumo bout in order to clear her mind because she's trying to blow off steam because she's been overthinking. That's why I say you would either A, have to show that she was already distracted in the PPA arc, because that's not something that's shown or demonstrated consistently to the extent that it is in this specific instance. Or B, you would have to give some external reasoning as to why the eyes would be a speed amp. But other than that, if either of those aren't shown, then it would still be the case that Maki would be equal to Toji's, and she just wouldn't have the eyes of inorganic matter, which would allow her to just, in a sense, I don't even know how to explain it, but oh yeah, in a sense, just use the sword to the fullest ability, which just allows her to cut through the souls of things, which
Okay.
has nothing to do with her physical speed or physical
Yeah,
AD.
yeah, that's fine. You're repeating yourself. So I'll just start with my contention. So first, you said that it's not a speed thing, or I'd have to prove it was a speed thing. No, I don't. Right? It could be a precognition thing, as in, oh yeah, she can like feel things moving through the air from a farther distance, right? And blah blah blah. So she can have like a better chance of reacting. XYZ. The main thing I want to focus on though is the distraction point, because once again, I don't think you're understanding. Um, you're trying to argue that, oh, because it's fleshed out at this point, therefore she must have begun to be distracted at this point. I don't think that follows at all. Just because something is highlighted here does not mean that it begun here, right? Like in a story, I can choose to highlight a narrative point in order to like, oh yeah, explain how it comes into significance at this point in time, right? Like, oh yeah, a boxer has like an injury that he attained 2 years ago, but I'm gonna highlight it now in this fight because now it has like a real significance in the plot, right? That's completely fine. It's not doesn't assert or like necessitate that it has to be at this specific point where this injury was obtained. Um, I think you mentioned something about her knowing something was missing or blah blah blah. If she knows that something is missing, right, that is separating her from Toji, but she does not know what it is that is missing, then it would also once again not follow that she's achieved this recognition. Because if she had achieved this recognition, she would know what was missing, right? She just wouldn't know why it was missing. but she doesn't know what was missing, which
Huh?
follows that she doesn't know what it is that
She can
she.
tell that she's unable to use the sword to the fullest extent.
Yeah, wait, wait, wait,
That's
wait,
why,
wait, 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 wait,
in
wait,
the
wait,
end of the
you need
night,
to
Mai says that you're finally able to.
wait. First of all, you need to stop cutting me off. That shit's annoying. But secondly, her being able to tell that
Stop
she's
talking.
unable, bro. What the fuck? Okay. Anyways, her being able to tell that she's unable to use the sword to its fullest extent does not mean that she knows what she's missing, right? She can know the effect
Huh?
of what she's missing,
I
bro.
never said she
Wait,
does.
wait. Let me talk. Okay. She can know the
Then
effect.
say what I'm actually saying. Don't say
No.
shit that you're
Okay, wait,
thinking
wait.
of.
Go ahead. And if you say something I've already said before, bro, I'm just gonna talk over you and start spouting because this shit's annoying.
You're talking about that she knows what exactly it is. I already explained multiple times. She doesn't know exactly what it is, but she can tell that something is missing. She doesn't know exactly what she's missing. She doesn't know how she's missing it or why she's missing it, but she knows she's missing it. That's
Okay.
why she's been overthinking throughout the entire fight, and that's why at the end of the fight, Mai says that you were finally able to do it. And she even let the old man Dido touch her so she can be able to understand and see that she wasn't using the force to the full extent.
Okay. So wait, do you not think that this recognition is what allowed her to dodge Naoya?
Are you asking if I think her having precog or what you call precog for some
Yes, like
reason?
as in her being able to see this world. Do you not think that allowed her to dodge Naoya's overwhelming speed?
No.
Jesus Christ. Okay, wait. I'll get the scan for you. Give me a sec. Chapter 197. Okay. So I'll send it to you in evidence. I'm just gonna explain the point before you like decide to respond. But basically, here, give me a sec. All right. So if you see here, the scan basically is just her saying or like reflecting on what's it called? How she's distracted by what everyone else can do and how she's like unable to do those same things, right? And she's like, oh, there are things that only I can see, things that only he could see, right? Then she dodges and then it continues to explain it's nothing special, blah blah blah. Everything has different air temperatures, blah blah blah. You just need to grasp the facet which allows her, or which is narratively implied to be the realization that allows her to reach her true potential, right? As in, she realizes this world and she realizes her full capabilities, and now she's able to fight on equal standing with an evolved Naoya. And I simply think that the distraction is what was limiting her from achieving this new level of power. I don't think this distraction was what was like a mental block that was preventing her from unleashing, or like a mental block on its own that was preventing her from unleashing her true stats. I think that it was the core,
Huh?
what's it called, a lock that prevented her from unlocking the eyes, which would give her her true stats, if that makes sense.
Repeat yourself.
Okay, so my point now, or what I'm trying to prove is these eyes, this recognition that she has, is what allows her to dodge things that she usually would not be able to. Uh, and
Yeah, I
you're
do.
okay. So if she doesn't have this eyes, you'd agree that she would be less combatively adept than she would be against Ogi.
Yeah, I don't think she would be able to dodge in midair, but I don't think her physical speed changes.
Okay, wait. But what do you think allows her to dodge in midair though?
Her being able to tell the air around them.
Okay, so she gains like different levels of sensory perception, which contributes to her ability to react to things, right?
Her ability to maneuver herself
Okay, yeah. So, and you would agree that this would make her a more combatively able fighter, correct?
at the same speed and same strength, sure.
Yeah. Wait.
I,
Okay. I'll still mind the same
I've
speed,
just
same.
been okay, then we can
Wait.
move
Wait,
on. That's all I've been trying to prove.
hold on. It's
That's
fine.
all I've been trying to prove, bro. We can move on.
Bro. Wait. Nigga, damn. Okay. I'll still mind the same speed, same strength thing. You said it allows her to maneuver her body in a better way, and I'm pretty sure you agreed that would make her a more combatively adept fighter, as in a better fighter, correct?
What does that do for you?
Okay, so it's stated right at that point that she is a fighter equal to Toji Zenin, right? If you've agreed that she did not have these eyes before, okay, and you're trying to claim that she is equal to Toji Zenin, it wouldn't make sense because these eyes have put her on a level in which she's equal. Without these eyes, she would no longer be equal. It's like saying, okay, look, 5 plus 5 is 10.
Yeah,
Without,
one can be equal in stats, one can be equal as a fighter. Can we move on now?
okay, wait.
Because both of
One,
those would hold its own substantiation. Because
yeah,
we
wait.
agree
So
their
hold
strength
on,
and speed would be the same. So in this
hold
first
on, hold
statement, it
on.
would just be the case that they're physically the same.
Yeah,
But
wait,
in the
hold on,
latter statement, we
hold
can say
on,
that
hold
they're
on,
the
hold
same
on,
as a
hold on,
fighter.
hold on, hold on. I said once again, I'll still man the physical part of it. I'm talking about the fighting aspect. If you
Yeah,
can maneuver
just
your weights, nigga, damn, bro. Okay, if you can maneuver your body in a better way than somebody else, you would be able to evade attack in another person, right? For example, let's say that you are like, okay, let's say like a wall is approaching you, and this wall is as tall as like from your waist to your forehead, okay? You and someone else are of the same fucking speed, but one person can do a back bend and another person can't. The person that can do a back bend would be able to evade this like indestructible wall because they are more flexible and can maneuver their body in different ways, which would make them a better fighter. Okay. In the same way, if Maki has a property which puts her at a level above than the former version of Maki, right? It would not follow that she's equal to Toji at all. And if I'm arguing that she's not equal, or if I'm arguing that, okay, look, this Maki is a better fighter, then I don't think you can say, okay, Maki gets blitzed by Naoya here, so Naoya is or Choso stronger. Like it doesn't make any sense because I'm arguing that this current version of Maki is a better fighter. She'd be able to do things in reaction to like stimuli that Maki would be unable to.
we're done.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on.
Okay. So you want to conclude?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll conclude first. So pretty short and sweet. The entire point was about whether Maki in her current state was equal to Maki in her previous state, who was equal to Toji. I contended it. My entire contention was that overall, current Maki is stronger, right? And when I say stronger, I don't mean in terms of stats only. I mean just overall stronger because of her eyes, which allow her to tap into full potential of her sword, maneuver her body in different ways, and evade attacks that she typically would not be able to. Um, what's it called? He then went on to say, okay, yeah, but physically, strength and speed wise, they could be equal. And I was like, okay, like even if it is that is the case, that doesn't necessarily mean that as a fighter they're equal. Like I can have immense brute strength as like Mike Tyson, but if I'm not as good as boxing at him, don't put me in a boxing ring because I'm just gonna get beat the fuck up, right? It's the same concept. What's it called? He didn't even attack the point. I explained how what's it called? Marky's like ability to, respond to external stimuli with this like new extrasensory perception, that being the eyes, would give her a boost in reacting to things. I explained how or he even proposed that it would give her a new way of maneuvering her body. And then I made the claim that if she's able to dodge attacks in different ways or dodge attacks that she would be unable to, I don't think it's fair to say that, oh yeah, she gets blitzed by Naoya here, or she like gets tagged by Naoya here, therefore she's equal to Toji, and therefore Toji would also get tagged, when we know that Toji is a better fighter because of this ability, and perhaps would be able to evade by moving his body in a different way. Like you have different ranges of movement. Now you can like, I don't know, move against this punch in this way or that way, right? Simply put. So um yeah, that's my conclusion.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, overall, I already shown that now Maki and Toji would be equal in speed. He brings up that they can maneuver in different ways, and I agree, and I say yeah because of the air densities, they can move in midair. But other than so, the only thing that they can do that's different from Maki back in PPA would just be moving differently, or moving in, or maneuvering themselves in ways that it would be different than she could in her natural base. So I say she's still the same speed regardless. He still mans that, so that's really all I needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to
FRSS
try?
shows
What'd you say?
faster than base. FRSS is faster than base.
Yeah,
Base is
no,
faster
no. Wait,
than
wait, 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 wait,
Mach-E.
wait, 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 wait. I'm not gonna like let you backtrack there. You said verbatim, he's focusing the technique into his eyes. We had a whole like mini argument about whether he'd still be in base. You said that he's the same speed as in base. So FRSS can't be faster than base. So base Choso faster than base Choso. Go ahead.
No, it's FRSS. I'm using FRSS Joseph.
Yeah, wait. You're using FRSS Choso, but the FRSS Choso that you're using, right, was the one from EA. The one from EA focused the technique into his eye, so he's the same speed. We had this like big discussion about it. Like I said before, I asked you to clarify what you meant by base. You said his speed and strength are the same. Okay, so base Choso in terms of speed and strength. Go ahead.
What are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you. So at the beginning of the debate, you made the claim
No,
that base Choso. Hold on. At the beginning of the debate, you made the claim that base Choso is able to react to Naoya. I said, show me this. We had a whole like little debate about it. I said, okay, this is not base. He has like an amp to his like eyes and shit. You said, oh, but his speed is still the same thing, so it doesn't matter. And I was like, okay, let me clarify. So if you mean that he's based in terms of just like physical stats only, like speed and strength, then that's fine. But if you mean that he's based in terms of everything, then we're gonna have to continue like arguing on it. You said, yeah, I said that from the start, then we moved on. Now you're trying to say FRSS Choso is faster than base Choso, and that you're using FRSS
yeah,
Choso.
I'm not
That's wait,
talking
wait, wait, wait,
about
wait,
that.
wait, 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 wait. But that's disingenuous, right? The reason why it's disingenuous is because the feats that you're using and the character that you're using exclusively use the technique to focus it into his eyes. Okay, he's not boosting his stats as you said in the beginning of the debate. So therefore, it just wouldn't follow.
So you thought I was using specifically that instance, Joseph?
You
Is
said
that the
EA.
idea?
Wait. Okay, wait. First of all, you said EA Choso, but even if that isn't the case, right? Even if you're using a different version of Choso, let's say a Choso that's using
I'm just
FRSS.
using FRSS properly.
Wait. Even if you're using a different Choso, even like an FRSS Choso that's focusing the technique across his whole body, you would no longer be able to use the feats from his Naoya fight because that Naoya fight Choso is focusing the whole technique into his eyeballs. Okay, the maximum output of
That's
the
fine.
technique.
His physical body is still at base.
Okay, but he
That's
couldn't.
literally what I've been trying to tell you the whole time.
Wait. He couldn't see now your move, right? I don't care if it is the case that he's
Yeah, that's
focusing.
fine. That's because of this orienting factor. I said these things. You just keep
Okay,
repeating shit. I don't understand.
wait. It's because of the disorienting factor. The disorienting factor works based off speed. Yes, like if you're too fast, or like if the person isn't
Oh,
fast. Wait. So you're saying that you get disoriented by projection source three regardless?
by its movements, yes.
Even though okay and you're saying that Choso who increased his eyes right to see these movements clearer
Yes.
okay so what was the point of doing that then? Go ahead.
What was the point? You just said it. What do you mean, what was the point?
Okay, yeah, so if it is okay, yeah, so you're not understanding. If it is the case, right, that he's increasing his eyes to see these movements more clearly, and that's what allows him to start reacting, you'd have to concede to the fact that if you cannot see these movements, or someone that could see these movements clearly would be able to react to the movements in itself. The reason why Choso was getting beat up before was because his eyes were not acute enough to see each movement from projected sorcery. That's why he was being disoriented because he was too
Hmm.
slow. Now that he's fast
No, it's
enough,
not too slow. It's just his eyes
yeah,
weren't
yeah,
able
yeah,
to
yeah,
see those.
yeah. His eyes are too slow. That's completely fine. So if his
No, it's
eyes are
not a
too
matter of
slow,
eyes. I just told you it wasn't a speed thing. It's a movements thing.
okay, wait. You said okay. His eyes
Moving
were
at 24
unable.
frames per second
Wait,
is what catches them.
wait. I wasn't done talking. Do you think Choso could see Naoya before he used FRSS? Yes or no?
If you could see the 24 frames per second movements, no.
Okay, wait. So you're saying that he was disoriented by movements he couldn't even fucking see?
What do you mean movements that you couldn't see?
You're
Are
saying
you
that the
saying
move.
if you're
You asked me
asking me if he couldn't, because I'm
You asked
saying
me.
now he can fluidly see those movements.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I
So
would agree.
okay, yeah. So he can now fluidly see these movements, which allows him to react to them. Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason why he can react to them.
Okay. Now, if this is a Choso that isn't using FRSS on his eye fucking balls, right? Would you agree that he would be unable, right, to react to these movements, or would you agree that that's something you'd be unable to prove?
Yeah, sure. That has nothing to. We're not arguing now
Okay.
here.
So okay, wait. Okay. So are you using a chosen that's using FRSS on his eyeballs only, or a chosen that's using FRSS on his body?
His body, because Maki doesn't have disorienting movements. Now, can we
Okay,
move on?
wait. You just agreed base Choso could not see these quote unquote
Oh my
disorienting. I
god.
wasn't done talking. You just agreed base Choso cannot see these disorienting movements. How can you be disoriented from something you can't see? I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm walking through
I
like a
said he
house.
can't fluidly see
I
them.
wasn't done. I wasn't done. Let's
I
say I'm
said
walking
he
through a
can't
house.
fluidly see
I
them.
wasn't done. Okay, wait. You said fluidly see them, yes?
Yes, I said he can't fluidly see them. That's why
Okay,
when
yeah.
he focuses it
I'll,
into his
I'll
eyes, you can see the fluid movements of it.
I'll contest that. So would you agree that like when now your first pops up, he Choso can't see him at all?
What do you mean can't see him at all?
Like he cannot see this nigga move.
Like he's getting perception blitzed?
Yes, perception list.
No, I wouldn't say that.
He disappears from his vision as he's looking at him, and then when now you begins to attack is the moment he starts to react. He cannot track his movements in the same way that he does when he's in FRSS.
Wait, you said what? Repeat yourself.
Okay, he cannot track his movements. He can only track the end result. As in, he cannot track now you're moving through space. He can only track the end result of his movement through space.
I disagree.
Okay. Um, I'll get the scan for you. Give me a sec. Where does that nigga fight Joseph? Chapter 141? Chapter 142? Alright, yeah.
Because if he couldn't have seen his movements in the first place, would have never came to the conclusion that increasing his perception would allow him to see him.
What the fuck?
Because he'd just be blatantly faster.
Wait, what?
Okay, if he couldn't tell that there was a disorienting factor to Nalia's movements because he's getting perception blitz, he would have never increased his um ocular vision. He would have just increased his whole body speed because he's physically getting beat up. But he doesn't increase his full body speed because he knows it's not a speed issue, it's a perception issue.
Wait, what you just said? Wait. What? Okay. No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Repeat
If it
yourself?
is wait. You said that if Choso couldn't see Naoya's shit at all, he'd increase his whole body speed. I'm saying that the issue is that he cannot see these movements, not that he
I
already
said,
like
okay. Yeah,
wait, bro.
you
I let
already
you speak. I
wait,
let you
you're
speak.
already
I
wrong
let
on
you
what I
speak.
said.
I let you speak. Stop.
You're already wrong on what I said.
I let you speak. I let you speak.
Not
Okay.
attack
I
and
let you
say,
speak. Okay, yeah. If I don't attack it, we'll move to conclusions and I'll just
all
lose.
right,
Let me speak.
that's
Okay.
fine with
So we already made a distinction from perception and reaction. Okay. If Choso is unable to see now your move, right? You're trying to say that it therefore follows that if he's unable to see now your move, he wouldn't think of increasing his perception speed, but that is the issue at hand. The root issue is his inability to perceive now his movements. Therefore, right, he would increase his ability to see. In the same way, if he could see but was unable to react, he'd focus the technique into his body, so he's now able to react by virtue of having increased movement, but he doesn't do that. Okay. Now, you're arguing for a disorienting factor. I'm gonna send the scans that.
we can move on. What you just said after you're done, we can move on.
Wait, I wasn't done. You're arguing for a disorienting factor. Um, you can look at these two scans. In this first scan, we see that Choso is able to track his movements, right? In the second scan, we see that Choso is bewildered and can only see the end result of his movements when he shifts from frame to frame. And every time after that, he kind of just shifts out of view, and Choso is completely unaware of where he is, which is a perception blitz. He's unable to perceive him, which is why it doesn't make sense for it to be a disorienting movements issue because he cannot see these movements in question. Okay.
What are you talking about? What instance did you just send me where he's getting perception blitz?
Evidence where we've been sending.
He literally perceives. So you're chatting.
Okay, we can move
The,
on.
the second one, I don't know what you're pursuing. Are you saying him going at them after looking?
What did you say?
Are you saying after he turns towards Nalia, then Nalia goes back around and then taps him?
I'm saying that he cannot track Naoya's movements, as in that's a
He tracks him in the
grid.
second scan. He
Okay,
literally
yeah,
says,
we
"Okay, he's
can move on.
adjusted to me."
We can move on. We can move on. It's
Are
fine.
you not going to show which instance is specifically a perception blitz?
Just use your like ability to use your eyes. We're talking about the first instance where he's able to fucking track him, and the second instance where he gets beat up and blitzed. Right? Clearly, it should be obvious which instance I'm talking about.
Oh, so you're just showing a comparison.
Yeah, there was an explanation as well.
Uh, so, second instance, why is he getting perception blitz?
Okay. In the first instance, right, we see that he's able to watch him move to each point in space. In the second instance, he's unable to see him move from each point in space, as evidenced in the first panel. We only see the end result of Naoya's actions, which is when he touches Choso, right? And then the third panel illustrates Naoya disappearing from view,
Wait,
right?
no. Wait, the first instance is not even a matter of him seeing it. He's moving his whole body towards it.
Wait,
He's
what?
actually acting to Naya. Yes, in the
Okay, yeah,
first.
we can move on. We can move on. We can move on. I already explained this shit, bro.
Yeah, you're saying that he's perceiving him. I'm saying that's not what. It's not a
I'm
matter
saying,
of the fact that whether or not he's perceiving him. He's actually reacting to him. That's why
yeah,
he
that's
turns
fine.
his body.
To
That's
perceive,
not fine.
to
Okay, actually,
perceive, to perceive, that's fine. We can. That
yeah,
doesn't.
but I'm saying the distinction you're trying to create isn't a lack of perception. It's just a lack of reaction speed.
Yeah, we can
He's
move on.
unable to react in the second instance
I already
because of his
responded to this shit, bro.
reaction.
Do you want me to repeat my argument one more time? Or you certain you responded?
No, I'll just show the instance where he's just dead looking at Naya.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's not defeated. That's the end result of his actions. That's fine.
What are you talking about?
Okay. I made a distinction, right, between his actual movements and the end result of his action. I'll give you an example. Say I'm in the stands and I'm watching Usain Bolt run. His actual movements would be like what's it called? Each pace or each stride, and the end result would be him
Wait,
reaching the
hold
finish
on.
line.
Actually, I got a question real quick. Are you just saying that he can't see the 24 frames per second movement?
I'm saying he can only see his final movement, as in
Yeah,
he
okay,
can't,
that's fine. So he can't see the 24 frames in between.
which is what causes the disorienting factor.
Okay, so we're not disagreeing. Never mind, we can move on, bro. This nigga just loves chatting. We done now?
Yeah, we can conclude. So
What the fuck?
this
Holy
is a
shit,
troll.
bro.
So anyway, my entire point was Toso cannot be disoriented, okay, if he cannot see what is causing the disorientation. The disorientation being the 24 frames of movement, which is his curse technique, which he didn't contend at all. Okay. He agreed he could not see the disorienting factor. Therefore, he cannot be disoriented by something that he cannot see, which he also did not contend. Okay. I then went on to explain, okay, well, look, therefore, it is a speed thing. Okay, it's not a disorientation thing. It is an inability to perceive
Wait a
movement.
minute.
Okay, he didn't
P.
contend this either. Yeah, what's up?